Hey, folks, it's Mark Arum. I hope you're enjoying the Mark Arum Show podcast. A reminder, you can hear this very radio show live Monday through Friday. We're live 6 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. Welcome to the show. It's a soggy Tuesday around Metro Atlanta. The roadways are nasty. Keep it locked right here. Doug Turnbull and the nation's best traffic team with updates every 6 minutes for your ride home. We got a big show tonight. We got little Sanjay. Does Alex Williams know this food? We're going to talk about Truist Park as well. But the latest update that you heard from Chris Chandler, the breaking news out of L.A., 60 people now treated after a Delta plane dumps fuel on an elementary school in Los Angeles. Can you imagine? They must have been out at recess or something, right? Because unless there are schools outdoors in L.A.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, I guess if you dump fuel everywhere, it doesn't really matter if they're in or out, I guess.
I would think if someone dumped fuel on WSB Radio's building right now, I think it would be okay.
Well, yeah, but if you went outside to, right after it happened, maybe.
Did they say how high, like at what height they were?
I don't know.
It's not like they were, 100 feet above the school.
Still, if you're inside, I think the roof should protect you.
It can't be that
Yeah,
much.
but maybe they went out like later, an hour later for recess, and it's still around wherever they, just all over everything.
Isn't it just gas, though? Like, who cares?
I don't know. Like, jet fuel is different.
That are itching, dude.
That's different from gas, I'm sure. I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking they had to have been outside at recess for this to be that big a deal, unless the kids, were inside and they went out and they're like, oh, look at the shiny puddles, and they just started.
It says just afternoon, so they might have had like a lunchtime recess.
maybe
So it had to have been recess. Yeah. That's crazy. That's just crazy. When you flush a toilet, does that go out of the plane as well?
I hope not.
It like collects inside the.
I think so.
Yeah, that I don't know.
It says 6 adults were injured in the dump. It doesn't exactly say what else was part of the dump. That's all it says.
Oh.
So maybe there was something more than fuel.
So the plane was having some trouble. It was a plane that was going to go from L.A. to China, and then they had some problems, so they had to come back, and I guess that's standard protocol. It's like, if you're going to do an emergency landing, dump as much fuel, and they dumped it on these poor elementary school kids who they had to have been recess. Unless it was the most poorly built school. Like Chuck's one-room schoolhouse in Montana had a better roof. That would have withheld.
Oh, yeah, that was
about 4,000 feet in the air.
4,000 feet, so pretty low, but pretty high. I guess medium. It's not 30,000 feet, but it's not 100 feet. So anyway, that's crazy. When I was a kid in elementary school, there were two big stories, what we considered big stories in my elementary school.
Okay.
Nothing this severe. First one was, kids, I'm sure they still have the fundraisers, right? Like,
yeah.
I always have to buy crap from coworkers, wrapping paper, and
yeah.
We had an M&M sale, and it was those big boxes of M&Ms, cardboard boxes of peanut or regular M&Ms. This was back in the day. That was it. There were no other fancy types of M&Ms. You had peanut and you had regular,
right?
And we were tasked to sell for field trips or whatever the hell we were raising money for, and the shipment of M&Ms. This was the biggest story. I was probably in like third grade. They were infested. If you opened up the pack, moths would fly out of the.
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, for some reason, I don't know what happened, but like every third box of these M&Ms had moths flying out. So it was like we were selling them all around town, and then people would be, opening it, and moths were flying out of the M&M box. Like, there were still M&Ms in there,
right?
But it was just nuts. So that was the big story in my elementary school. The second one was in sixth grade. So my elementary was K through 6. And I'll never forget this. Poor Marcia Servillo was in charge of the sixth grade yearbook. And she lost all our pictures.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this is pre-internet. This is, she had to I don't know. So instead of our pictures in our yearbook, she had to draw fancy Mark in cursive letters or Longoria in block letters. So our yearbook didn't have pictures in it, and she was ostracized. The poor girl. You talk about pack mentality. In the grand scheme of things, it didn't matter at all.
I didn't care,
but she was the pariah for months. Oh, I can't believe Marcia lost all the that was so. To me, when I think elementary school, those are the big issues. In 2020, it's gunmen and a fuel drop on.
Right.
Yeah. To me, it was mothy. M&Ms.
Right.
I don't even know how they resolved it, to be honest with you. I have no recollection. I just remember having to bring the M&Ms back to school. And I don't even think we reimbursed the people that bought them. I think they were just out the $2 or whatever it was. So I just thought that was crazy. We can talk about that if you want. I want to talk about Truist Park though. We heard Chris Chandler in the news there. Social media not happy with. Listen, I'm not happy either. I would love it would be Hank Aaron Field or something like that. But this company is paying the Braves $20 million a year or something, or
I think it's 10.
$10 million. It's $200 million over 20 years, whatever. It's not going to be when there's that kind of money. My silver lining take on this is it could be worse than Truist Park, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Imagine if SunTrust was bought by Preparation H, and it's Preparation H Park, or SunTrust has merged with Vagisil, and we are now at Vagisil. It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been, I guess.
The Truist might be the most poetic name, might not be the most poetic name, but it could have been really, really bad.
It seems like they didn't think it through. Like they just were like, "Well, it's a deadline. Let's what is it, Truist? Let's just make a sign for that."
Zima Field.
Yeah.
There could have been. So I'm going to take the silver lining thing. It's not my favorite name, but there's hundreds of millions of dollars involved. They're not going to just name it and not get that money. And it could have been worse. SunTrust could have been purchased by a company with a much, much worse name than Truist. That's my question. What would have been worse? What company merging with SunTrust would have provided a worse name than Truist Park? 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Jonathan kicks us off in Gainesville on the Mark Arum Show. What's going on, Jonathan?
Good evening, Mark.
Hello, sir.
Hey, so I just had to call in because, one, they don't dump poop from the airplane.
They keep it in like just a bucket in the hull? What do they do with that stuff?
It's a makeshift bucket. I mean, it's a little more stable than a bucket, but
makeshift bucket.
I wouldn't want to be under there when they're emptying it.
Understood. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the second part is they're going to dump fuel for one reason, because they can't land with that much weight.
Correct, yes.
So that aircraft's taking off, and it's going however far, and they can't land with that amount of weight. So that's really what's going on, why they had to dump it.
Now, is there any pilot discretion on where the dump happens? I mean, I'm sure the pilot didn't say, an elementary school, let me dump it there. Like, what kind of control do you have on the dump there?
Well, the pilot obviously can jettison that fuel whenever it needs to, but it's probably within a vicinity of that airport traffic pattern.
Gotcha.
So I bet you it was on the way in or out, and they're holding and dumping fuel until they get to a weight that they can land with.
But for the kids to have been injured or impacted, they had to have been outside, right? The jet fuel's not eating through the ceiling.
I don't know. Have you ever been around jet fuel? It's pretty nasty.
I have, actually, at Peachtree DeKalb Airport, back when I used to fly in the chopper.
PDK is a pretty cool place.
It is.
I wouldn't want to be around it if it's on the ground, so it probably was fumes and related to that stuff.
Inhalation issues. That's right. I once, by the way, Longoria, you know this, maybe Deb doesn't know, I once went 100 straight flights without using the bathroom.
That seems pretty impressive.
That's number 1 or 2, Longoria.
You, that's impressive. I never used the restroom on the plane.
100 straight flights.
Yeah.
I finally broke it when I flew to Japan last summer. I had no choice there.
That is a long flight.
And it wasn't that bad. Chef William joins us on the Mark Arum Show. What's going on, Chef?
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Excellent. What's cooking?
So a standard airplane of that size has about between 50 and 60,000 gallons of fuel on it. A gallon of fuel weighs about 7 to 8 pounds when it gets dumped. So think about all that weight coming down on somebody, knocking a tree limb down or something. It's pretty heavy fuel.
But doesn't it dissipate when it's 4,000 feet up? It's not coming down.
It's heavier than the water outside, so what happens is it falls as quick as it can. It tries to evaporate. But like the gentleman said before, the reason they dump that is because if they have to crash, they don't have the fuel on board.
Yeah, no, I get the reasoning for the dumping. That's not the issue. So you're saying that's heavy enough to crash through the ceiling of the elementary school?
No, they were outside. The reports I was reading, they were outside after lunch having recess, and it just dumped on them.
Oh, God. Can you imagine? You're out there playing. What was the game when you were growing up? In
like
the schoolyard,
or like
tire swings, or something
tire
like that.
swings. What's
kickball.
That?
We were a kickball town. You're out there playing kickball, and then just
like La Bamba, but with fuel instead of the plane.
That's the first thing I thought about. That's the first thing I thought about it. Patrick's in Lawrenceville. Pat, what's up, buddy?
What's up? Red Rover, let jet fuel come over.
Oh, I hope the kids are okay, by the way.
They are. They're all fine. It's all minimal, and the jet did the right thing because otherwise, potentially there would have been 170 souls lost if they had gone down in a rough way. So
Yes.
it was the right choice. It was not necessarily convenient for everybody else, but everything went really well with that record exchange. That was cool. And as far as the SunTrust Park, it's the teepee. It's the Braves teepee.
Yeah, I'm not. Everyone's saying that. I'm not calling that. Here's the problem. Like, I can call it whatever I want on the radio, on my show, no problem. But I have to talk about Truist Park on TV. I can't be like, oh, TP. I can't be that jackwagon on Channel 2 every morning. So I'm going to have to call it SunTrust Park. My point is, in the grand scheme of things, of all the company names out there, it could be a lot worse. What would be worse than Truist Park? What company buying SunTrust would be worse? Redman, right? The chewing tobacco, that'd be worse. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum. This is The Mark Arum Show. Braves will play at Truist Park. Not the greatest name, but could be worse. Via the Piccadilly text line, my buddy Tripp said, could it be Ashley Madison Park? That would, you know what that is, Longoria?
I do.
You're supposed
Lots
to
of
say
people
no.
wouldn't understand.
I know
You're
I
supposed to say
don't
no to that,
know that.
Longoria. What would have been worse than Truist Park if a company had merged with SunTrust? Rob's up next on the Mark Arum Show. What's going on, Rob?
Hey, Mark, how you doing tonight?
Excellent, sir. What's cooking?
Hey, I got a worse name for you.
Okay.
Tampax Field. You got to pull a few strings to get tickets.
Oh, Deb Green as the lone female member of the Mark Arum Show. Was that appropriate or
I
not?
mean, I've worked in much worse radio situations, so I'm used to hearing stuff like that.
You call it the pad.
Two different
There
things.
you go.
Well, I know, yeah. But isn't that the same company? Don't they make both of the instruments?
Probably instruments.
Instruments.
Probably
The pad and the other thing?
the other thing.
The
Yes.
other thing. Speaking of, well, we'll discuss later, but I got a great story about men's bathroom habits that I want to talk to Longoria and Chuck about as dads.
All right.
It's interesting. We'll talk more about the fuel dump over the L.A. elementary school. Truist Park, it's not the greatest, but it could have been worse. What company merger with SunTrust would have been a worse name than Truist Park? 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum. We're right back after news, weather, and traffic on the Mark Arum Show.
Hey, it's Shaquille O'Neal. You're listening to the lyric dropping, traffic mopping, Hall of Fame gloating, drive time promoting. This is the Mark Arum Show. Deb Green hit my music.
Thank you, Mr. Shaquille O'Neal. That was pretty cool. Not cool in Midtown, as Chris Chandler just mentioned. 61 degrees. It's windy out, though, Longoria. But we're going 6.5 on a Mark Arum Show back sweat meter. This is January. It's 60 degrees out. Coming up after our show, pre-debate coverage with Chris Chandler, Eric Erickson, and Greg Bluestein. Then we'll have the debate live
Alan
here.
Sanders.
No, he's post-debate.
Oh, okay.
Listen to this guy,
Okay.
trying to the stoic one.
I
Coming
thought it
after me. Post-debate show will be your buddy Alan J. Sanders. The debate will be here live at 9 on WSB. Truist Park is the Braves stadium for the next 20 years or until the next merger. Most Braves fans I've talked to did not like the new name. I think we've all gotten used to SunTrust Park, and it kind of flows, a little poetic. SunTrust Park sounds majestic, and now it's Truist Park. It could be worse. That's my opinion. There could have been a worse merger with SunTrust and left us with a worse name. Deb Green, executive producer of the Mark Arum Show, you got an email.
Yeah.
What would have been worse than?
Got an email from JJ saying the only thing worse would have been PepsiCo Park.
Can you imagine if Pepsi buys SunTrust and it's Pepsi Park in the heart of Coke land?
Would that maybe give Coke the incentive to be like, hey, no, we'll get this?
The contract's there. I mean, I don't think you can do anything about it. So what would have been worse than Truist Park? 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Denny's up on the Mark Arum Show. Denny, what you got, buddy?
Well, it could be the American Standard Park, and then they forced the Chop House to change its name to match the theme.
American Standard?
The toilet company?
Oh, very nice. All right, that'll work. Here, how about this would have been worse? This is just for me. Angie's List Park. Freaking Angie from
With
Angie
her
List.
face, like,
yes.
right
Oh,
outside.
God, the most annoying woman to me. And I know it's irrational, but I can't stand Angie from Angie's List. Angie's List Park would have been worse for me. Rhonda's in Dallas. Rhonda, what you got, buddy?
My husband said they should have went big and named it Viagra Venue.
Viagra. That would have been worse than
Viagra
Truist.
Venue.
Yeah, I think we'd call it the big blue pill. They'd have the
There you
turf.
go.
The turf would be dyed blue like they do in Boise State. You ever see the
Yep.
Boise State football field, Longoria?
I have.
And it's blue.
I hate that.
Yeah, the big blue pill. That's what they would have called SunTrust Park. Yeah, Viagra would have been worse for sure. Dawn's in Dawsonville. Dawn, what would have been worse than Truist Park?
Well, I actually have two of them.
Okay.
The first one would be monkey butt powder. So Monkey Butt Park.
I would have loved that, actually. We got a
That's
doubleheader
pretty funny.
today at Monkey Butt. That would have been funny.
And then the other one would be Dick's Sporting Goods. So it could be Dick's Park.
That would have been, yeah, I'd have to massage that on the
I
air.
think they sponsor something
Yes.
already, right? But it's like Dick. They say the whole name.
Yeah,
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Dick's Sporting. They don't just say Dick's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dick's Sporting Good Field, it would have to be, not just the name
Right.
Richard. Stan is up on the Mark Arum Show. Stan, welcome to the program, buddy.
Hey there, I've got one for you. X-Lax Park. Come watch the Braves get the runs.
That is fake. Deb, do we have a prize to give to Stan?
We do have a prize to
Stan,
give.
hang on the line. That was fantastic. Chuck's going to get some info from you. What has he won there, Deb?
We're going to go
Green?
check out Zach Brown Band, Roar with the Lions at SunTrust Park, now Truist Park.
Excellent. Do we have more tickets too?
Yes.
Later on?
Yeah,
All right,
yep.
good. Good job, Stan. And are they playing at SunTrust Park? Did you say?
Well, it's Truist.
Well,
Tru-
Truist,
Truist Park.
Yes.
That's what they're playing?
It's August 7th.
How
Yep.
about that? Ironically, not X-Lax Park, Stan. The Braves get the runs. Catherine is in College Park, Georgia. Catherine, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
What would be worse?
Are you there?
I'm here. What would be worse than Truist Park?
Well, Rob sort of stole what I had, but I had a little twist to it.
Okay.
Atlanta Campex Gardens.
That's classy.
What about that?
That's classy.
Yeah, kind of Madison Square, Atlanta Campex Gardens.
Yeah, I
Just
like that.
envision that.
That's actually better than Truist. Where do the Braves play? Oh, they're playing down at Tampax Gardens. Gardens makes everything seem fancier.
Flushing Meadows.
Yeah, everything's like gardens. It means like if you name the town dump,
Yeah, something
gardens. It's like it's a garden. Tampax Gardens. That'd be better. Todd's in Alpharetta. Todd, welcome to the Mark Arum Show.
Okay, I am just dying laughing on the way home. The fact that you said that you're going to have to massage the name Dick for the stadium is just making me laugh.
That was unintentional.
Oh my God! Anyways, I had a backup because I knew somebody was going to steal Cialis from me.
Yeah.
But I was going to call it the Ed, instead of the Ted. You
The
could call
ED?
it Ed for ED.
Nice.
But anyways, the one that backup I had was Cycle Work Sanitation. They could call it the Dump.
They might get sued by that furniture company, the dump. By the way, has anyone ever been to that furniture company?
No,
Yeah, I went once.
I have not heard of that.
They advertise all the time on.
Yeah.
I'm always wanting to go.
Yeah. Is it worth it?
No.
No, definitely
Okay.
not. All right. If they're a sponsor, I apologize. That's Deb Green.
Yeah.
Not speaking on behalf of Mark Arum. The dump. Well, it doesn't even have to be Cialis or Viagra. Whatever that Frank Thomas thing is.
Oh, yeah.
That would be fine. There's so many ED pills that Longoria brings in. that are on the market
From
these
Mexico.
days.
I bring them all in from
Exactly.
Mexico.
John's in Dallas. John, what would be worse than Truist Park?
I don't know. I'm old school. I like when they just called it Braves Stadium.
Well, I think that's what everyone's going to default to at this point.
Yeah, now it's all about the money.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about the fuel dump.
Yeah, can you hang on through the break, John?
Sure, we got to.
All right, John's going to talk about the fuel break when we come back after traffic. Little Alex Williams will join us. Does he know this food? Truist Park, I got bathroom stuff to talk about, Longoria. Always a fan favorite on the Mark Arum Show. Little Sanjay's going to join us. We got so much to do to keep you entertained on this crappy Tuesday ride home. Hang tight. We'll be right back. This is the Mark Arum Show. I humbly apologize to the Stoic Eskimo, Andrew Longoria. You were right.
About what?
Alan Sanders is part of the pre-debate coverage, but he is hosting the post-debate coverage.
He is doing that also.
Sanders, Erickson, Crane, Bluestein, Charles Thomas III from The Revenant will be there.
Okay.
Debate coverage starts at 8. By the way, we're going to hear about Chuck's hunting escapades.
Hunting hogs.
He was, what did I say yesterday? He was...
Boars?
No, he was killing pigs in Florida.
Yeah. Hunting pigs in Florida.
Hunting pigs in Florida. We'll get to that next hour. Before we get back to John in Dallas, Alex Williams, medium-sized Alex Williams, as Doug Turnbull called him, joins us in studio. Vital member of the traffic team. Doesn't know much about food, though. I think you're going to know this one in our latest edition of Does Alex Williams Know This Food?
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 That boy don't know what that is.
I think the boy's going to know what it is today. The food tonight, Alex Williams. Look at you, so nervous. So last time he didn't know what asabuco was, which was a braised veal shank. But tonight I think you're going to get this. You ready?
Let's have it.
Alex Williams, do you know what beignets are? Beignets.
Are they like a type of dessert?
Yeah,
like a sweet treat?
It is a sweet treat, yeah. But give me a little.
Kind of like a crepe? I don't know.
It's not. You're close enough. Alex Williams kind of knew that
close.
food.
That boy does not know what that is.
Thank you, Andy.
It's basically a powdered donut served in New Orleans. They're delicious.
What was the one you made me taste that one time? That was
the eclair.
Yeah.
Oh, the eclair, yeah. Another sweet treat. Alex does not know many sweet treats, but you were close. You got the sweet treat. All right. I'm going to give you credit on that. Alex
I
Williams
appreciate it.
Kind of knew that food. John is in Dallas talking about the fuel dump over the elementary school in L.A. All right, John, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I love your show. This is the first time I've ever called in.
Oh, my pleasure.
I work in the airline industry, and the reason they dump fuel is that 777 going to China had hundreds of thousands of gallons of fuel on it, which is hundreds of thousands of pounds of weight. And when that plane takes off, it is above the allowable landing weight.
Correct.
And so when they found out they had to return to the airport, they never thought about crashing or anything, but they had to reduce the weight of the airplane.
I totally understand that. I know that's the protocol. My question was, the kids would have had to have been outside to have been impacted by the fuel dump, right? Because the fuel, as heavy as it is, but it's not crashing through the roof of the elementary school.
No, when it hit the ground at the worst, it would have been like a fine mist. And it could have caused some skin irritation.
Yeah, but I think the kids, and if it was afternoon, I don't know what schools are doing these days, but that's usually recess time, right? You go to lunch.
Yeah.
And then you go outside for recess, so that's it. But thank you for the clarification. Bill's in Grayson. Bill, welcome to the program.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
What up, William?
Hey, I have a name that actually could come to pass since these banks seem to merge all the time, which would be horrible and confusing. It would be Fifth Third Bank.
Yeah, I remember the first time that came to Atlanta, I'm like, what the hell is Fifth Third Bank?
That makes no sense.
My buddy from Ohio was like, oh, that's a big bank. That's a good bank. I'm like, Fifth Third? Like, I got to do math now?
I don't want a fraction for a bank. I want the whole bank.
Here's my one suggestion, guys. For Truist, if Truist wants to truly win over the fans, every ATM at Truist Park better be free of charges.
Yeah.
Like no ATM charges. You want to win over the fan base?
That'd be good.
Have ATMs in that park with no fees. That will win over Braves Nation. Otherwise, people are going to, if your name's on the ballpark and you're charging $5 for me to pull out 20, people are going to be a little upset. Jeff's in Marietta. Jeff, welcome to the Mark Arum Show.
Hey, Mark.
Hey,
I was just going to give some input before I give a new name he kind of stole as far as the Fifth Third. But Truist, I was trying to think how they came up with such a horrible name. But with any of these companies, they want to have a one-word name.com. And so any word in the English dictionary is already taken. So they have to make up a word.
New words, yeah.
And that's how they come up with such a silly name. But yeah, Fifth Third would be awful. It's 1 2/3, right? Any bank that can't do math doesn't get my money, right?
I can't do
Fifth
fractions.
Third?
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny. When I first moved to Atlanta, you don't care, but I was like, I've been with the same bank for 23 years, and it's had 6 different names. It's crazy. The banking industry.
Crazy banks.
Crazy banks. All right, more on what would be worse than Truist Park, plus little Sanjay will join us with Would You Rather. And Low T Chuck tells about hunting hogs in Florida. Not a euphemism. He was actually hunting hogs. We'll be right back on The Mark Arum Show.
The Mark Arum Show is performed before a live studio audience.
No, I run this town to be near you. I stand alone. I stand alone.
Welcome back to the show and a good Tuesday Eve to you. Mark Arum here, you there at 7:07, 7 minutes after 7 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, heard Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. on WSB. My whole family's back together. Deborah Green, executive producer of the show, Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Low T's back.
Low T.
We missed that chiseled Montanian who was down hunting hogs in Florida. We'll get a full recap on Chuck's trip. I do expect mountains of sausage to appear in the studio at some point.
You'll get some.
Little Sanjay is going to join us in just a second. We're talking about two stories, one local, one not so local. The not so local one, 60 people hospitalized in L.A. A Delta flight leaving LAX going to China had to abort the mission and dumped fuel on the way back to the airport and apparently hit an elementary school. So we'll talk about that. And the big local news today, Truist Park is where the Braves now play after the SunTrust merger with that other bank. Everyone's going crazy about this name and not in a good way. I'm silver lining this puppy. Like, I don't love the name, but it could be worse. What would be worse? If SunTrust merged with what, Longoria? If Taco Bell bought SunTrust Park.
Taco Park?
The Chalupa. The Chalupa.
That'd be better.
The Cascajones.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, so what would be worse than Truist Park? 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Dan is in Marietta. Dan, welcome to the program.
Yeah, welcome. A great idea about the no charge for the using
the ATM. ATMs better be free, Longoria.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It could be called Cologuard.
The Braves got cleaned out at Cologuard Stadium today. Yeah, that would be basically any item. And I've talked about this before. One of the greatest inventions of the 20th century was the self-checkout aisle. Any item that you feel you need to go to the self-checkout for, any item that you buy there that merged with SunTrust would be bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, does Leslie ever say, "Hey, Longoria"? I love that your wife calls you Longoria, by the way. Does she say, "Hey, Longoria, I ran out of pads. Can you go get them?"
Sure, I've
and
done
then
that
you
many
go
times.
and you probably do the self-checkout line.
Yeah. I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care.
You don't care. You're
I don't
good.
care. I don't care what people think about
I
me.
just love the fact that your wife calls you Longoria now. Bill's in Atlanta. Bill, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing, Mark? Great show.
Thank you, brother. What's going on?
Oh, hey, I thought it would be pretty bad if it was Dude Wipes Park, where the Braves can wipe out their opponent.
What are dude wipes?
You don't know what dude
They're
wipes
like body
are?
wipes.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Like for your under areas, or?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I think instead of TP.
Well, I do, not to get too personal here and give you too much information about life, but I do use those...
Cottonelle wipes?
Yeah, the flushable ones.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that, but they're mid for men.
All right, they smell like Axe body spray or something?
They smell like wood.
That would be worse.
And moss.
Axe body spray would be worse, right?
Oh, God.
That would be, tonight the Braves take on the Brewers at the Axe. That would sound cool.
It sounds cool, but they're not the
Axe
company.
body spray, yeah. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk.
It's time for Would You Rather with Little Sanjay.
He is the guru, the soothsayer, the truth seeker, the asker of unanswerable questions. He joins us every Tuesday and Thursday on the Mark Arum Show. He's Big Sanjay with Would You Rather. How about Brass Tax Accounting Stadium? Pony up that 200 mil, Sanjay. Pony up.
I'm in.
You're in? All right. Sanjay's going to ask us tough questions. We're going to answer them in studio. I really want you to play along in your car. What's the first question there, Sanj?
All right, number one, would you rather get $100 each time you cry or each time you manage to hold back the tears?
What?
$100 every time you cry, or $100 every time you want to cry but you hold back the tears.
Just so you know, this is the Mark Arum Show, not the Tad and Drex morning show on B98. Who's crying and who's holding back tears here? It would be zero.
Longo told me he wants to cry almost every day.
Every day. At 7 o'clock.
I don't cry and I don't hold back tears, so it doesn't matter to me. Every time I hold back tears, I guess.
I cry every single day, so I'll take.
Give you the hundo?
Yep.
Do you really?
Absolutely.
After you leave this show?
She's
on
like,
the ride
I can't
home?
believe I said yes to
On the
that.
ride home. Why did I become a nurse? What was I doing? All right. Chuck, does it matter to you? Do you cry?
I mean,
You don't have tear ducts in Montana, do they?
No, not really.
Watching John Wayne movies or something?
I guess it'd be easier to pretend. I'll pretend like I had to cry and I'll hold it back. That'd be easier.
Yeah, can I fake cry? Do I get 100 for a fake cry? I can do that, Sanjay.
That works.
Oh, all right, then I'll do that. I'll do the fake cry for 100. Okay. By the way, Chuck,
yes, sir.
Millennial Match Game, we did celebrity nicknames.
Yeah.
And the Duke was one of the ones.
Oh,
and
no.
Randy, she guessed Fred Savage from Wonder Years.
Oh, that hurts me.
And then Michael the Fox.
Yeah, and then Michael, not Michael J. Fox, Michael the Fox. Maggie's chiming in back there, Sanjay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right, so I'm going to cry. What are you going to do, Longoria?
Yeah, I'll cry.
$100 every time you cry. All right, next question, Sanjay.
Next question. Would you rather have eyes that can see everything for 10 miles or ears that can hear everything from 10 miles?
My eyesight is near perfect. I'm losing my hearing. It really is. I'm the only person in my family that doesn't wear glasses.
Right.
I've got 20/10 vision. Better than Yamamoto's, by the way. If you heard in his commercial, he's got 20/12. Suck it, Yamamoto. I got 20/10. But I think I'm going deaf. It's weird. I should talk to an audiologist or whatever the ear doctor is.
Okay.
Like, I can hear fine here, but in a crowded restaurant or something, I can't hear someone 3 feet
You
away
need that
from me.
Whisper 3000 where you can
Basically,
pick out,
it's like I can hear fine, except in noisy places. And then for some reason, like we were at dinner the other day, and someone was talking, and I literally have to read their lips to see what they're talking about. I don't know. I've got issues. So whatever, I don't even remember what the question was.
I don't want to see half the things I already see, but if I could like hear concerts without actually having to go there, so I'll do the hearing.
Yeah, that's what I picked, the hearing too.
I feel like eavesdropping on people and hearing would be more beneficial
Correct.
than me seeing 10 miles. So I'm going to go with hearing.
But think about, well, I guess it wouldn't help you in hunting. A deer 10 miles away, you're not going to kill that thing.
But I'd like to hear him coming sooner.
There you go. Can I pull that audio? Chuck,
well, you can pull whatever you want.
You
can pull whatever you want.
Longoria.
I'll do the hearing.
All right. Next question, Sanjay.
All right, we're going dark. Would you rather get $50 million for your family, but you die, or you get $50 million for yourself, but they die?
God.
Damn, man.
When you say family, how far are we going out? We're going cousins and uncles?
Immediate.
Immediate.
Just immediate.
So just my brother, my mom, and my dad.
You got it.
If I choose death for myself, it's to like tomorrow?
We'll give you 24 hours.
So a day. Oh.
So it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it is tomorrow at this time.
So tomorrow at this time I die, but my family gets $50 million.
Wait till 8 o'clock before you die.
Or my whole family dies and I get $50 million.
In 24
It's
hours.
not per person?
No, it's a whole family.
No.
Deb's like, I got 9 siblings. I'm gonna fall on the sword. My brother could use the $50 million. I want to take care of him. So, and my parents are listening. So that's the way I'm going on that.
I'm out.
Yeah, give your parents $50
Yeah,
million.
yeah.
Chuck.
I mean, you know how normally I would go on this one, and I would just keep it for myself. But my brother just found out he's having twins.
I was going to bring that up.
Twins,
Mac.
Yeah.
Do those count? Those are nieces and nephews, right, Sanjay?
He's my brother. Like,
yeah.
I don't care about them. I care about my brother.
Yeah.
I don't know them yet. So I'll fall on the sword and I'll give them the $50 million.
And then your brother will be able to take care of the
exactly.
twins.
See,
yeah. And hot neighbor will be very happy.
Yes, she will.
Yes.
She'll
She
find
won't
herself
die.
a better husband.
Longoria.
Yeah, I'll fall on the sword and give them $50 million.
Yeah, your beautiful daughters, your mom.
Can't have them.
Leslie, who calls you Longoria. They can share in that
If
money.
I ever hear her do that once, I'm gonna fall
I know.
over.
That was a great question, Sandra. All right, you want to end on that, or you want to keep going?
I'm gonna end there.
All right.
Yeah, he tried last time.
Yes, good call, Costanza. Go out a winner. Sanjay is the official accountant, believe it or not, of the Mark Arum Show on Facebook, Brass Tax Accounting, or just brass.tax. We'll talk to you Thursday, little man.
My man.
I mean,
See ya.
big guy. But God, I got to remember, he's big Sanjay now. 404-872-0750. Kurt is in Cumming, Georgia. Kurt, welcome to the Mark Arum Show.
Hello, thank you, Mark. Yeah, I've got some ideas for the worst scenario for renaming the ballpark.
Yes, what would be worse than Truist Park?
Well, one of them would be, you know that food container and metal lid company that called Ball? They make the Ball jars for canning.
I do not know
Imagine
that.
they
Deb
bought-
Green knows
yeah,
that.
there is a company out there called Ball.
Okay. Ballpark.
Yeah, mason jars, right. And the Ball Company makes lids for, I think, other food containers with screw-on lids. So imagine they bought the naming rights, and we call it Ball Park.
That'd be good. That'd be better. That would be better than Truist for
It
sure.
would confuse people, though, and tell them you're going to the Ball Park, and, well, yeah, naturally you are, but where are you going?
I'm surprised. You know what? I'm surprised that Amazon, the behemoth that is Amazon and Google and Facebook, they haven't gotten any naming rights yet, right?
They just don't need to, right?
Is that the deal?
I mean, everyone knows. People say Google it. They don't say look it up online.
Why spend the money?
Yeah.
But Amazon's got so much money. Like if Jeff
if you just
Bezos,
wanna waste it.
like let's say Longoria. Let's say Longoria owns Amazon. He's Jeff Bezos. He's a huge Texans fan, Spurs fan. Just for his ego, wouldn't he be like, oh, we're going to name that, Amazon Longoria Park or whatever? I don't know. I'm trying to get
He's
inside
got
the
enough
head.
money to buy the moon. I don't know if naming a park is.
Yeah, you're beyond that. Is that what you're saying?
I'm thinking at a certain point, that's
You don't even care.
Yeah.
All right. Mark is in Noonan. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey there.
Hello, sir.
I got a couple. One of them is Cialis Park. Come watch the Braves score.
That's okay.
And Miralax Park. Come watch the Braves dump on the competition.
Miralax, I'm assuming, is something that helps you poop?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I thankfully have not taken that yet. I did buy the Metamucil crackers that Johnny Kilbasa suggested, but I haven't tried them yet.
Okay.
Knock on wood. Oh, I got a bathroom story. We'll get to that at 7:30. You're going to like this story, Longoria.
All right.
It's not gross. It's not a hurry poopy story.
sure.
Susan is in Griffin, Georgia. Susan, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hello, Susan.
I think depends Park. That way you could say, will they win tonight? Well, it depends.
Oh, all right. So those are the adult diapers for folks that don't know, right? Those are the depends.
Right. Right.
That's a tough thing, I would think, in life when you reach to the point where you're like, all right, I got to get adult diapers. Right? That's a tough day. That's a tough realization.
Yeah, I guess so.
I never want to.
Depends on how old you are when you come to that realization.
Well, at any point, you could be 97. You'd be like, I got to wear it. You know, I never want to be there.
97.
I never want to be at that point where I'm like, all right, it's time to switch. I need to make the switch to the adult diapers. It's the Mark Arum Show.
So what, we just want to off you or something?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
you're done, Mark. Let's take you out to the woods.
No, I just never want to have that conversation in my head where I need those I need those diapers now. We'll come back. We got other amazing things to talk about, plus Truist Park. It's the Mark Arum Show on WSB.
Mark Arum on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Don't forget, you can listen to the Mark Arum Show at home on your smart speaker. Just say play 95.5 WSB. Mark joins us on the show. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, sir?
Excellent. What's cooking?
Great show. I love your show.
Appreciate
I got
it.
3 names for your new park. First one, Oscar Mayer Wiener Field.
As long as the hot dogs are $1, that'd be fantastic.
That'd be great. Then you got Pink Pony Park. And maybe, let's see, there's one more. What was I thinking about? Oh, everything's Peachtree here in Atlanta. So Peachtree Park.
Peachtree Movers, right? They're still a
Peachtree,
thing.
yeah.
I see there. I see.
Yes,
All right.
sir. We do maintain a property right beside them down there off Fulton Industrial, a great southwestern parkway.
There you
as
go.
a matter of fact. Anyway, God bless you, man. Great show. Love your show. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of the week.
Preach, buddy. Ben is up next on the Mark Arum Show. Hello, Benjamin.
Hey there.
What's
So I'm-
worse than
I'm
Truist
thinking-
Park?
Well, I'm thinking Gold Bond Park.
Gold Bond medicated powder?
Yeah, the Braves are itching for a win.
Oh, I guess what's is that what you use for jock
Jock
itch?
itch.
Chuck, what
Jock
do you use
itch,
for
my
your
man.
jock itch? Is it Gold Bond or do you use something else?
No, there's
Gold
way
Bond
better
or
things than Gold Bond.
Tenactin, and I like Gold Bond.
Tough actin' Tenactin. Wow, that's
Yeah, man.
I remember that commercial. All right, good
Yeah.
stuff. All right, thank you, Ben. We're gonna move along. I've got this story that I'm gonna focus on Low T and Longoria next segment. It's about it's a survey that
Okay.
says, this is amazing, that dads spend an average of 7 hours a year hiding in their bathroom so they don't have to worry and deal with the kids and their wife.
Oh, really?
Which I find amazing.
about that.
The study says, Chuck, that the average dad hides in the bathroom 7 hours a year to avoid dealing with the kids and the wife. I think that number is low.
Oh, it's way low.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, that's way low.
We'll dissect that when we come back with our two favorite dads, Loti and Longoria. Plus, Loti will update us on his hunting trip. He was shooting hogs in Florida. Chasing hogs? Chasing hogs in Florida. Not a euphemism. Chasing hogs in Florida. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. On the Twitter machine, at Mark Arum. News, weather, and traffic next on WSB. This hour of the Mark Arum Show brought to you by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Hey, this is Rosie Perez, and you're listening to the Mark Arum Show.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2, ox, a camel, and a kangaroo. Packed him in that ox so tight, I couldn't get no sleep that night. Rolling Stones, Shep and Ham, tell me about that master plan. Oh, my Lord.
Welcome back to the show, 7:36:24 in front of 8. Mark Arum and the Bananas with you till 8 in the p.m. Tomorrow, Deb Green, we got a short show. Is that correct?
That's right.
Georgia basketball.
Yep.
Coming up tonight after our show, pre-debate coverage with Alan Sanders, Chris Chandler, Greg Bluestein, the whole political crew, and then we'll carry the debate live here on WSB and post-debate coverage with Mr. Alan Sanders after the debate. All right, so here's the story that we got out of People magazine. People used to be... It's funny because People is like the ultimate bathroom magazine.
Oh, yeah.
That was, I remember my mom's best friend, I used to go to their house to go to the bathroom just because they had the People magazine in the house, in the bathroom. And I would just read that. So it's ironic that People came up with this bathroom story. Dads spend 7 hours a year hiding from their families in the bathroom. This is a 2018 study. I don't doubt that dads hide in the bathroom. I'm not a dad, and I hide in the bathroom. That's my sanctuary. That's my safe
we're
space.
all aware.
Whether it's at work or at home, that's my place where I can just
if we can't find Arum, he's in the restroom.
Relax and chill with my thoughts. What I am dubious about is that 7 hour a year total. That's crazy, Chuck.
Yeah, that's crazy low.
It is, right?
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
How often are you guys as I mean, you're great dads. I'm not going to mince words here. You're fantastic fathers. Your kids call you Longoria. Your kids call you Loti. You're great dads, but that's a low number, right, Longoria? Do you do that?
I don't. I mean, if I just want to get away, I'll just go up to my room. But like in the mornings, well, it's upstairs and everybody's downstairs, so I can get away from them.
But your kids won't come up into your room and jump
they're
on the
not
bed?
allowed in my room. I don't allow them in my room. Now, Leslie brings them in, but I don't allow them.
Not to get too personal, do you have a separate room than Leslie?
No, it's our bedroom.
So it's our room.
Yeah,
okay,
our bedroom.
I just want to clarify. You're like your room.
It's my bedroom, our
All
bedroom,
right.
whatever.
The kids are not allowed in your room?
I don't let them in there. I don't. I mean, unless.
So Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m., your kids want Mexican pancakes for breakfast.
What the hell are Mexican pancakes?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Made with Mexican vanilla?
Yeah, they're not allowed to come in and jump in your bed and say, Dad,
oh, they just scream. We have the little monitor
still.
Scream. They're just like, Daddy, 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 Daddy.
I'm slowly withdrawing my thing that Longoria is a good dad. Yeah. Chuck, do you allow your daughter in your room?
All the time.
Well, yeah, she's 1 or 2,
she's
whatever.
Turned 2.
I'm 46. I'm allowed in my parents' room.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure you are.
My parents never once said, you can't come in our room.
Well, I just don't allow them in my room.
What's going on in your room,
Nothing's going on in my room. I just don't want them in my room.
This is kind of weird.
I just don't want them
Very
in there.
weird, right?
Yeah.
I just don't want them in there. They know not to come in or knock.
There's got to be a reason they're not allowed in your room.
Well, they got to knock first. Well, I mean,
what is happening?
They have to knock before they go into my mother-in-law's room too.
Well, that's different. You're
How's
their
that
dad.
different?
You're their dad. Do you keep your door?
I may be
locked?
Changing or something. I mean, they can't just barge in.
Do you keep your bedroom door locked?
No.
But closed. You don't keep the door open.
Oh yeah, all the doors are closed. Their doors closed. Our doors closed. We don't have our doors open at night.
I'm not. When
they go to sleep, we close their doors. Is that not? I mean.
So your daughter, all right, I hate to do that. I'm sorry. We're delaying the calls. And this
is great.
It's 1 a.m. Livia has a horrible nightmare.
Oh, I'll get up and go into her room and
But
put her
how
back
do
to
you
bed.
know if she can't come into your room?
Because we have the cameras in there. We have monitors that have cameras in their room.
But you're sleeping.
You can hear them.
You're Listen, I've seen you sleep, Mr.
You
CPAP
can hear them. The
machine.
monitor is right by my ear. The monitor is on my side of the bed.
And you'll wake up
so
if
you
she's
won't
crying.
bring her into your room, like if she just wanted to, you'll keep her in there and.
Well, I'll rock her back to sleep and put her back in her bed. I'll go into her room and pick her up and turn on the light if she's having a nightmare or something, and I'll rock
The
her
other
back.
daughter.
We have a rocking chair in the room. We rock her back to sleep.
Rocking chair. What a creepy house you live. What kind of a rocking chair?
I have a rocking chair in her bedroom. What do
All
you mean?
The other daughter has
Do
a nightmare.
you not rock your kids to sleep?
I don't have kids.
Right, but you
I rock Bosco to sleep.
But you not rock kids to sleep.
I don't know, Longoria.
Okay, well then why
I had a
would
rocking
you?
chair.
Rocking
why
chairs
would
are
you?
creepy. They're scary.
How are they creepy?
Every horror film's got a rocking chair
Yes.
in it.
And it's
Well,
always
how else are
rocking
you
by
supposed to
itself.
rock them to
Let me
sleep?
keep.
I don't understand.
Let
How
me
else
keep.
are you
Let
supposed
me
to rock
keep.
them? You're not a rocking
The
chair.
prosecution has not yet arrested Longoria.
Okay.
Your other daughter has a
Right.
nightmare.
Lily. Yeah.
Lily. She's crying, inconsolable. The rocking chair just ain't cutting it.
I'll go into her room and
Understood.
Yeah.
It's not working. She
There's
says,
never been a time.
hypothetically, Longoria, play with me. She says, Dad, I need to come sleep in your room.
She can come and sleep in the
All
bed.
right. All right. So you're not that evil.
No, but they're just. I mean, I just don't want them in the bedroom when I'm not in there, or they have to knock if
But
I'm
if
in
you're
there.
in there, like,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very rare. I mean,
Snuggle time with
I
Daddy?
can count the I can count the number of times on my hands that they've come in and slept in the bed because they've been
understood.
scared of something.
And that's not usually a but once in a while thing. But you're the most snuggly dad around. What if they want to come in and snuggle in bed with you on a Sunday morning?
I mean, they get up. The young one had just realized how to open her door because we put those little
Child
door
locks, yeah,
things
yeah.
on them where she can't open the door. She's just now figured out how to do that. But the other one will just stay in there. She'll call for us. We'll tell her on the monitor, hey, we're getting up. We'll be there in a little bit. And she'll stay there in her bed and play or read books or do
So
whatever.
no daddy snuggle time in the big bed.
No.
In your room.
No. I'll go to their room and put them back to bed and all that kind of stuff. It's their room. I don't know what you want. I don't understand. How many times has your dad, did you
Siri,
snuggle with your dad?
I need DFAX's number.
How is that a DFAX problem?
She found 15 fax services.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. We'll revisit this.
How many times did you snuggle with your dad in bed?
A lot.
Every Sunday morning you got up and snuggled with your dad in bed?
Not every Sunday morning,
a
but
lot. We used
quite,
to bring Dad the paper, and then we would all play in bed while he read.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a big
They
Sunday
just call
thing.
for us to get up. They just want to go downstairs. They don't want to come into our room.
You
They just
don't
want to
let
go
them, so-
downstairs. No, we do. We go get them.
But you have to let them out of their room.
Yeah, I know, right? We blew past the part that he's locking them.
Like,
in.
I'm not locking their doors. The doors are unlocked.
They have to call on you to be like, dude, let me out of my room.
Let me out of my room.
Well, because I mean, they're just not going to have free reign of the house and just start walking around everywhere. They got to let us know that they're up and that they're going.
Shawshank Longoria.
I don't. And they can't. She can't cook by herself. I have to go downstairs
You
and
realize
make her
she is
breakfast.
currently digging a hole in the wall behind the poster.
Well, she ain't getting anywhere.
Oh my
She's gonna
goodness!
get into the garage.
I wish I was an actual parent so I could pass considerable judgment on
Yeah,
you.
but
right
you
now.
can't because you don't
I can't.
know.
You're
Yeah.
exactly right. But Chuck can because Chuck is a parent.
Chuck.
Richard's in Athens. Oh my goodness, Richard, how are you, sir?
Doing good.
What can I do for you?
I got a couple of names. I'd probably be a little worse than Truist. How about Kool-Aid Park or X-Lax Stadium?
X-Lax would be worse. Kool-Aid, I like Kool-Aid. I didn't have Kool-Aid growing up, so once I got to my
And
parents.
you think Andrew's family's weird?
Well, they would let me snuggle. They just wouldn't give me sugary drinks. So, like, when I got to college, there was this whole world of sugary stuff. Like, I never had a Pop-Tart growing up.
I never had one either.
I never had Kool-Aid growing up. Like, all these things
You never had Kool-Aid?
Exactly.
No.
Is that weird?
That's weird.
The closest thing we ever
Pop-Tart I
had.
can give a Kool-Aid?
Yeah, never had Kool-Aid. The closest thing my mom would make would be like this Diet Crystal Light
Ugh,
lemonade drink. But I didn't know any better. I was like, oh, this is good. But then I'd go to Mike Maury's house, and his mom
They
would
had
make Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid,
And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, my God, this
So
is
did you get popsicles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have popsicles. Fudgesicles.
You get a fudgesicle, but you can't have Kool-Aid?
Yeah, Jello pudding pops.
I gotta
Pudding
talk to Mom.
Pops.
Those
again.
were
That's weird.
fantastic. Jello pudding pops. But they did let me snuggle, and I could leave my room whenever I wanted. They did not keep me
We're
locked in my
in.
room. Teresa's in Mableton, Georgia. Teresa, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello,
This is the
Teresa.
first time caller.
Welcome aboard, my friend.
Yes, I listen to y'all every night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, y'all are wonderful. I wanted to tell you, I have got the best name for the new stadium.
Okay, what would it?
The stadium. All right. You know FedEx and UPS, right?
Correct.
Fed Up.
Fed Up Park. I like it. I like it, Teresa.
I just thought that was good.
That is good. Yeah, FedEx and UPS. Again, like Amazon Prime. Like every day I'm getting something delivered to my house from Amazon. They have the money. Spend, Amazon Park. That'd be the jungle. The Amazon. They call it the jungle.
I don't think they need to.
Yeah, I know. I guess not. Do we have more tickets to give away?
Yeah, we got another pair of tickets to give
All
away.
right. I'll give away in a second, but I want to talk to Ray in Locust Grove first. Hello, Ray Bone. What's going on?
Hey, Mark, let me tell you, when I was growing up, I used to go to the bathroom at a friend's house, but his was the PD book with the bunny head.
Really?
Yeah. But the other thing is, when you're growing up, when I was growing up, we always kept our bedroom doors closed because that was fire safety. So you can't get in about having the doors closed. However, when I was raising my kids, if they got in trouble, I just took the door off the hinges, put it downstairs.
So they didn't even have a door.
So they didn't have a door.
I would think as a concerned parent, you would want the door open at all times. God forbid something happens and the kids can't get out of the room, right? Like,
I went to sleep with my door closed when I was a kid.
But not locked.
Well, no, not locked.
Yeah, you're not locked in the
I
room.
don't lock the door.
You have the child lock
for the
on
little one, for the youngest one. But the older one can walk in and out of her door if she wants to.
Hypothetically, the house is on fire.
But she knows how to open it now, so what does it matter?
The house is on fire. The little girl's got to go on the speaker. Dad, I hate to bother you in your room.
I'm thinking I would know that the house is on fire.
I don't want to bother you in your room, but
smoke alarm.
I smell smoke here, Longoria. Can you come get me out of my room and then make me Mexican pancakes? Thanks, Pops.
What the hell are Mexican
Can you wake up, Pops? Give me some Mexican pancakes. I just don't think he's so mad right now.
No, I'm dealing with other.
Oh, you're dealing with other stuff. All right, Chuck. Let's go to Chuck while he's dealing with stuff. Chuck,
yes,
tell me about the hunting hogs in Florida. What went down? Where were you, and all that stuff?
We go way down south, Lake Okeechobee.
Okay,
down
that's
in that area.
swampish.
Yeah, very swampish. Very, very swampish. Very hot. A lot of mosquitoes. It was like 89 degrees.
Oh,
they broke
wow.
a record
Okay.
for January.
Yeah.
It was a 12 on the backside.
On the backside of the
It was,
and you're hunting feral hogs.
feral
is that the deal?
hogs. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what do you do? That's not in a blind. Are you in a blind?
Yeah, well, we do. We just the way the property's set up against the management area, wildlife management area. We hunt blinds in the morning, and then we got to go deep in the swamp and kind of spot and stalk.
Are you on a boat, or are you? This is all on
No.
foot?
It's all walking, slogging through the marsh.
And what are you using to kill the feral hogs?
On the wildlife management area, you got to use a shotgun.
Okay.
On private property, you can use whatever. So
is there a limit?
No, you can shoot as many as you want.
As many as you want. Is there a size limit? Like, don't shoot anything under.
Oh, I mean, we don't. You try really hard not to any sows that have piglets.
Okay.
Leave them alone.
Yeah, sure.
Just
Very
if they're smaller. But in any sows with piglets, just leave them alone.
So you were successful though.
I was very yeah.
So what's the total? What do we got?
I only got one this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a big one?
Bed medium size, about 100 pounds.
All right, that's decent. And it was on foot, or you were in the blind?
On foot.
And you got it. And who were you with down there with Phil?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Phil hit anything?
No, it was tough. He didn't miss anything this year. He had no opportunity to miss. So
now the term feral pig, feral hog, makes me think that this is not delicious, but you say that's opposite.
They're very delicious.
All right, so what are you going to do with the 100 pounds of feral pig that we now have at Chuck's house?
Most of this I'll either turn into breakfast sausage or link sausage. I like to make garlic sausage or andouille.
Okay, so we can expect some of that.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
Right. Very nice.
Yeah, it was a good time.
How does the andouille sausage go with Mexican pancakes? Is it a good compliment?
I gotta imagine Mexican pancakes are a little spicy, so I think it'll go very well.
Excellent.
All right, pigs in the blanket. Just roll your Mexican pancakes in the over the andouille.
Well, I'm glad your trip was successful.
Thank you.
We welcome you back, and I look forward to some feral hog sausage.
Yes.
One more segment to go, then it's pre-debate coverage on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum, Facebook Mark Arum WSB. Back after this.
Mark Arum on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
We have legit breaking news in the sports world, Longoria. Legit breaking news, not the Mark Arum Show.
Breaking
there you go.
news from the WSB 24-hour news desk.
Braves free agent third baseman Josh Donaldson has signed with The Minnesota Twins. David O'Brien from The Athletic reporting that a 4-year deal out of nowhere. Wow, that is a shocking development. So Josh Donaldson not returning to the Braves next year. He signs a 4-year deal with the Minnesota Twins of all teams. That is going to have huge repercussions for the Braves on this day when they've been taking flack for Truist Park. Maybe it was the Truist Park that Donaldson said, you know what? I'm just going to Minnesota. That is huge news. Bad news for Braves fans. What do they do now? Do they stick with Austin Riley and Camargo? Do they go out and get Chris Bryant or Arenado from Colorado? Bam, breaking news. Did not see that coming, Longoria. Josh Donaldson signs a 4-year deal with the Twins. Phil in Buford. Phil, real quick, buddy, what do you have?
I think the Bobby Cox, because you can do so many things with the Cox. I mean, they don't have to worry about it.
Understood. All right, Phil, I'm going to leave it there. Oh, you know what? I don't have time for Scott in Woodstock, but Scott, I'm going to give you some tickets, okay, buddy?
Awesome.
All right, hang on the line. Deb Green, what did Scott win?
Yeah, Scott's going to go check out Foreigner, Kansas, and Europe September 1st at Ameris Bank Amphitheater. It's the Jukebox Heroes Tour.
Give me that lineup again. That's a
Foreigner, Kansas, and Europe.
That's awesome. I want to go to that show.
Okay.
Can you make that happen?
Yeah.
All right, let's do Star of the Show, Longoria.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Arum Star of the Show?
Josh Donaldson is not Star of the Show. I cannot believe that he went to the Twins. Star of the show, Livia and Lydia Longoria.
Livia and Lily, you mean?
Livia and Lily Longoria get star of the show for living in Shawshank Prison with their dad.
You're gonna get me in trouble. So better watch out.
Yeah, so put them on the board. The Longoria sisters get star of the show.
I get money.
No, that's separate from you. That's separate from you. We got pre-debate coverage coming up next. We'll continue the conversation on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum, Facebook Mark Arum WSB. Donaldson to the Twins, SMH.
Go to sleep, you little baby.
Guests of the Mark Arum Show stay at the All Suite Omni Hotel, located in the heart of Chicago's Magnificent Mile.